Hello, everyone. We are so back at the Welcome to the Jungle tournament. This is the 10th edition presented by East Coast Metal Roofing. We are the greatest media team. I am here with Kyle Moriarty, who is going to show you how to play Coggs. He made the lead card shooting a -8, and he's going to have some hot competitors with him. Tell us a little more about your round and what are your thoughts going into the second round, Kyle?
Well, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but man, Coggs is truly why this tournament is called a jungle. You are in the thick of New England. You just have this beautiful laurel that is all over the place. Your fairway, you can either be in a nice walking path or just off the side of it and almost have no shot because of this laurel. It's thick, it's nasty. And we got Marky Chap showing he's ready to rock some barely par 978.
Yeah, we have Andy Cochran, who's representing Discmania, shooting a 10-21 first round. We got yourself. I think you have a new intro for every video, and I freaking love it, Kyle. And we have Brad Schott coming from Vermont, and there's a 2-minute warning for you all. I am getting hyped here. This is going to be wild. This is the second day of the tournament. Thanks again to all of our sponsors, Discmania, Disc Golf 978, Cosmic Disc Golf, Disc IQ. I mean, we have so many great sponsors. We had over $8,000 added cash to this tournament, also directed by Connor Spilman. And don't forget Bob Kulchuk. Here we go, hole one. Give us a little breakdown here.
I'm also going to give a quick shout out to Kelly Jenkins. She was out there giving us a start for this round, giving us a great send off. Hole number one, 245 feet, little uphill, nice par three. This is a hole where if you are not parked, you most likely want to be laying this up because there is some trouble.
Lots of trouble. I mean, if you're not in the right spot, you have to make a lot of tough decisions right off the bat. And that's kind of what happens at Coggs. It kind of sets the tone, I feel like.
Yeah, Brad, he's throwing, I believe this is a Luster AVR 3. Correct me, Raivis.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. You know his discs. And he's going to be throwing a lot of Innova. He's represented by Innova. And he loves his Anheuser lines. That is a beautiful line for him.
Yeah, I've played a couple rounds with Bradley past couple of tournaments, and man, he loves a force flex over backhand. I get nice and sneaky there through that little inside line that's not quite there, but it worked out. Not complaining about that.
Getting a little cheers from the crowd there. Very exciting to get through that gap and actually have a look. We're going to see if you're going to be able to run that or not. Here is Marky, also a ThoughtSpace athletic teammate of yours.
No more ThoughtSpace for Chappie.
Oh, my fault. Disc Golf 978 teammate then.
Yes. Yeah, big 978 guy.
Andrew.
Yeah, I know he isn't playing as much, so that's probably part of the reason there. And here is Andy. He likes his MD1s. He's going to be throwing that a lot at Coggs. Unfortunately, getting a really bad kick. Marky and Andy going to be in some tough spots.
Yeah, Coggs has shown its teeth already off the bat after a couple of drives off of one. Chappie giving us a little bit too strong of a bid or not enough of a committed layup from where it was. Definitely going to be paying a little bit of the price rolling off that backside slope. And you can barely see Andrew down there.
He's used to the elements. He's a nature boy, so
he is a nature guy.
He's a very good scrambler. You're going to see that from him today, and he's going to have a look for his par save. Here's Marky. No, that is a bogey, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a bogey. Opening hole bogey for Chap. I will say that's definitely not how you write up starting a tournament here at Coggs.
2 bogeys. Meanwhile, you and Brad are kind of like just hanging out, circle one.
Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. Like, hey, let's get this tournament going.
Yeah, that was probably, you made that look very easy, but I'm sure that was a little bit of a tester for you.
Yeah, you know, when I initially threw that tee shot, I was mentioned right away, oh, that's a good layup. And, you know, I ended up having a better putt than I thought. And Brad just truly heartened something and had a great line at it.
Yeah, Brad's also getting the deuce there. And You guys, what a separator already, starting on hole 1, showing its teeth, like you said, Cogshaw. This is a strange course compared to Meadowbrook. You're gonna see either a deuce or die. I mean, that's kind of the attitude here.
On some of the holes, it's deuce or die. On
Yeah.
some of the holes, it's par or die.
Par or die, right? Exactly. Yeah.
So that brings us to hole 2. We've got the OB road to the left side. There's a mandatory also to the right, quickly off of the tee box. And you got this oddly hung basket. So just a little visual difficulty for the player.
Bradley's going to be going with his Pro Pig off the tee. Unfortunately, that was just super stable. Just couldn't get around that left side there.
Yeah, and knowing Bradley, he's not the biggest forehand guy, so the first forehand of the round is definitely a big one to get out from under your legs.
Meanwhile, you're a veteran. You've been doing forehand since like you were 4 years old. I swear. You're throwing off the tee there.
So this is an Aura Omen, which is the ThoughtSpace Firebird equivalent. Really flat, super overstable, just trusting it thrown out wide and letting it slice through these trees. Basically letting the trees know they're going to be in for a hurt if they get in the way.
We got the Hulk attitude here today. I love it.
Yeah.
Here we have
Chappie.
Yeah, he's probably throwing a very similar disc as or a Firebird, something similar.
He's going Captain's Raptor here.
Okay, all right.
Yep. And that's what you want right there. No putt at all.
Spot. He could dunk that thing in, and Andy's going to be most likely going off with his. I'm going to say FD3 or something like that.
Yeah, FD3 or MD5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
stay in bounds.
Boy.
Please stay in bounds. That would be
okay.
Okay, so Andy just went OB. What a really tough start for him and Brad, or actually just really for Andy right now, because Marky's sitting pretty.
Yep.
Andy's...
Yeah, this hole it's finicky. There is a line, but man, if you're slightly off, like this is the story of Coggs. If you are slightly off of your line, or you're gonna get punished. If you're a little bit more than slightly off, sometimes it works out. And you can see here on this putt, slightly off the green at about 12 feet, forced a pretty awkward straddle.
And that could sail if you miss there and then roll. There's a lot of rolling. We've actually seen you on coverage a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Really, really unfortunate roll on this.
Yeah. But you know what? You forget about those things, and every round's a new one. You step up to each putt committed, and sometimes you hit them.
I love that attitude. And Kyle, you are off to a really picture-perfect start after, Brad was having the lead. Now you have the lead. Meanwhile, Andy and Marky, they're already a few back. So it's already cruise control for you a little bit. Like you said, par or die, especially on a hole like this, hole 3. This is a very long hole with OB on the right-hand side, that road. And players really just want to shoot it really straight. Maybe let it fade out to the valley area here and try to get a putt. But you're not really trying to go for the 2 unless, correct me if I'm wrong, if you are or not.
Are you conservatively going for the 2?
Okay.
Best case scenario, it's a 2. Worst case scenario, it's a 3. Like, this is a construct, a 10 speed, throwing flat and kind of low, just to make sure that if it does flip up or hit a tree, it's low enough where it won't kick up to the OB off to the right side.
It's a good call. And Marky's actually doing a very similar play, just got a little bit of a misconnect with the tree there.
Yeah, it was a little bit early. I believe that was an eagle that he's throwing there. He's been throwing the eagle so well lately.
I love it. He's throwing mostly everything, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's full open bag. He's throwing whatever he wants, throwing what works. And, there's something about a player that can throw anything with true freedom, and that fits their game.
Absolutely. And I think Andy was going with his FD1 there. And shout out to Marky, because he also, I just saw his rating. He's like 10-10 now. He was struggling for quite a while to get over that 1,000 mark. And then all of a sudden now he's 10-10 because he has a mixed bag. Who knows?
Yeah, it's great to see, all these players just start popping off. And now we have quite a number of 1,000 rated players up here in New England.
It's making the tournaments actually get those higher ratings, kind of what like Maine had 5, 6 years ago, if you remember. Remember that?
Yes. Oh, of course I remember him. One of the oldest players around. Been around here, around the block. But let's talk about these boys in front of us who are out here
Yeah.
ripping and just going through the jungle here. I mean, you can see everybody is in some sort of an awkward
Very.
second shot here.
Just to
Like,
save par.
there's a third hole, and you know, Andy and Chappie and Brad, they've kind of already been stressed. Their mind is already going 1,000 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah.
And we're on hole number 3. I mean, that was my first upshot, but it was a relatively simple one, but I still had to think about it. So on hole number 3, but we've had players that are 3 for 3 on hard scrambles.
And Brad's looking actually, unfortunately, most likely going to get a bogey there.
Yep.
And come on, Marky.
Oh, good
Love
hit.
Marky's putt. He is a solid putter.
Yeah,
What's
he's
he
really
putting
turned
with?
that around. I believe those are, was it a P1? P1?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a Discmania.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure Casey hooked him up or something.
Yeah, it's nice to know some people on some
Absolutely.
Discmania teams.
And he's saving his 3. That was a very solid upshot from wherever he was in the woods down there.
Yeah, he was in one of those Neverland places that you kind of go to and you feel like you'll never be seen again.
Do you know what that whole average for the day this year? Because it always,
I
I feel like it
do.
goes like 3.5 or something.
It averaged a 3.36, and
Okay.
there were 3 birdies on that hole. Matt
Wow.
Armstrong, Josh DiBattista, and Miles Sayer. Only people to 3
All right. Shout
to
out
it.
to them. The two Mainers coming in and just smoking that hole.
Yeah. So hole number 4, it says 261 feet, but we are playing to the long basket. Is 261 to the long? I don't know. But this is majorly uphill. You got to throw it probably 360 power to get up into the circle. And you're teeing off of a pretty uneven, old paved road.
Very dangerous hole if you don't get up and down cleanly. And I think you just kind of got a little bit of a kick to the left, but kind of stayed in the middle, right?
Yeah, I hit a center tree, kicked to the left, hit another tree, stayed middle.
All right. Well, that's all you can hope for on if
Yeah,
you hit
really.
something. And Mark looking like a good pull there.
Yeah, it just got hung up as well. I think it pushed a little left.
Andy going with his, I'm going to say FD. That was a good pull. Maybe MD. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, I think it was like a speed 7.
And Brad, here we go. I am going to say that is his eagle again.
That would make sense. He throws this on such a beautiful line.
Yeah,
It's that right
eagle.
side line.
It's actually what
Yes.
he on hole 3. So he feels that disc. He knows that disc very well. He's throwing that hard. That's hard to get up there. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brad, such sneaky power. You wouldn't know it from his form, but it just keeps going. He's really maximizing the disc.
And you got a kick and another kick. Man, this hole is giving you some treatment here.
Yeah, and I'm just deep, and you're going to notice in Coggs, your greens aren't very open when you get outside of 10 feet.
Yeah, it looked like you went into some bushes there, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
hopefully you can save that par putt. Marky, I think that was for his birdie.
That was for par.
Oh,
That was for par.
he was far away for par. Whoa.
Yeah, he hit a tree on his second shot that pushed him over there.
All right, perfect. That's a good par save. Yeah.
Yep.
He gets excited, I think, for birdie looks. I don't know.
Yeah, he does get excited. Especially when that was your first look for bird.
Yeah.
That was a
Swing away, Kyle.
yeah. I will say this is a very fresh basket location, and that stuff is really thick and really hard to get any clean kind of putt through. just to make as many excuses as I can for missing a putt from that close.
I took a 4 during the tournament. Very similar situation. Pretty sure I swapped out a tree as well, or the leaves there.
Yeah.
But so you bled your first bogey for the round here, right?
Yep. There's a bogey right there.
Yeah, it happens. But luckily you still had that 1-stroke lead on Brad. Brad just got a birdie though. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
That's a really good birdie. Hole 5. This is, if you get a birdie on this, you are the best player in New England. This is 300.
Yeah, you're doing something right.
363 feet. It's a very hard left to right shot. And you for forehanders, it's a little bit easier. For backhanders, it's really hard. There's Brad with his champion eagle again. Let's see where he lands this one. Whoa.
Yeah, let's check this thing out. You could see he gave a little fist bump off the tee, so he knows he's in a great spot. You know, This is a hole where if you try doing too much, you get yourself into major trouble. If you take it as is and play for par, it is a little bit more of a simple one. But the way this green is, where the basket slopes and it's all hard compact and rolls away, and then there's a shelf that never catches you. There's some treachery to this green.
Something always happens on this hole, and it is wildly difficult. And what are you throwing there? That looks pretty good. You and Andy kind of had a good smash. He threw a DD2 or DD3, I think. What are you going with?
That was a Star Destroyer, just throwing something that I know is going to maybe have a little flip, but is going to finish off right. Chappie's thrown. That looks like an eagle from him again. Just holding that straight line. And I'm gonna say it right now. Hole number 5 is averaged the hardest hole.
Yeah, I mean, look at why. Here's a prime example. Is this real? Like, did that just happen? It's still going.
Still going, and he didn't realize it until he just looked.
He picked up his stuff, and it was still. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this hole is brutal. This basket placement.
He was a foot away from the pin.
Yeah, he almost dunked it, and now he's all the way back here.
That's an 80-footer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
that's
he almost cashes it.
So, do you feel like if you're par through 7 holes, you're doing well at Coggs? Because I feel like that's my mark. Maybe not par, maybe 1 or 2 down. Nothing really more, though.
Yeah, I'd say 2 down.
Okay.
2 down through 7 holes at Coggs. Although, like, with the new tee box on 7, I don't know. I would say 3 down. 3 down through 7, you're doing all right. Yeah.
And I think that's what you're kind of okay. So you're at 1 down right now. Brad's at even. Andy's unfortunately over. So you're all not really hitting the mark right now. But
you know. I'm gonna tell you something right now, Raivis. Hole 5 had 0 birdies on it.
Okay, all right.
There were zero birdies on this hole. Does that make it a good hole?
Let's move it closer. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Brad smiling, loving that one.
Hole 6, 312 feet. This has got to be a signature hole in the course, over a ravine, par 3, no out of bounds, just natural out of bounds if you land in the middle and have to shoot over the rock wall. You just really need to do one thing, and that's just get over the rocks.
Yeah, this is a demanding tee shot here. You know, from another tee pad it's seen better days. It's a great tee pad, but there are some spots to it. So it does play to your head a little bit on your run-ups and as you're getting ready, trying to hit this tight window that's not as tight as you think it is, but man, it plays pretty brutal.
Got a nice little reaction. Second one there. You're on the over.
I made it over.
Okay.
Made it over.
That's good.
Yeah. Just like I said, Coggs, if you just miss your line, you're usually punished. If you miss it by a little bit more than just a little, it works out.
Yeah. Marky's literally following your paper trail. That is a good shot.
Yeah, the miss here is definitely a little bit to the right.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a better line. It's a little more forgiving.
Andy is not getting the clean releases at Coggs right now.
No, he's been struggling getting off the tee. And Brad throws a great forehand,
He
standstill
does.
forehand
Yeah.
to just inside the circle.
Very difficult to do from where he was, and the camera is not doing it justice. I feel like it's making it look like they can see over that. They can't.
No, no, that camera was far behind Brad and elevated about 10 feet higher than where he was.
Ooh, I'm surprised you're going for that.
You know, I was feeling a little spicy.
You are.
It was, had that playing through Meadowbrook and hitting cage all over the place.
Oh my, look at that.
Yes.
That is the best birdie of the day so far.
That's a great birdie right there. That is an excellent way of how you should play hole number 6.
Yeah, that we're gonna have to put that on socials with the gust of wind right before it too.
Yep. Yeah, held that putter up, just dropped right into the bucket.
That's the Marky putt that I remember a couple years back, and he said he was the best putter in Mass.
Yeah, he's feeling it. I love when Chappie's feeling it. He gets a little attitude to him. He starts chatting away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean
Andrew.
he left that short in terms of the upshot. I mean, there's not much he could do. He had to make that putt, just couldn't connect. And Brad, hopefully he can connect. Man.
Oh.
Okay, so we're seeing a lot of different things happen on this lead card. I feel like what we're going to see is that there's going to be some movement.
Stuff is flying around here.
Yeah.
We got Coggs is handing out bogeys left and right. I mean, it's giving out some birdies here as well, but man, it is playing like a tense A-tier lead card. That is for sure.
And Andy's like a good player, so for him to be +4 at this moment is very uncharacteristic.
Yes, absolutely. He is a very good player, but the course is just punishing.
Mm-hmm. Tell us more about hole 7. I love this hole.
So this is 7. This is a relatively new long tee pad, making a true par 4 coming in at 537. It is this tight, winding tunnel that goes down, it goes straight, it goes to the right, it goes to the left, it goes back to the right, and you got a really nice green here. There, if you are inside that kind of 15 to 20 feet, you have a relatively clean putt. You get outside of that 20-foot mark, you're most likely obstructed.
Great breakdown there, and I was very happy to see that the first person on the tee got through. That is a prime example where you want to get it.
Yeah, Chappie was throwing a destroyer there, I believe, and he just committed to hitting a line.
And how about yourself?
That was a construct. Went a little early in the left side, but hit in it, had a really nice push up to the right.
That's fortunate, yeah. So no mid here, huh?
No, I was getting a little aggressive.
Okay. All right. Well, we noticed that you're getting a little frisky on hole 6, so that's why you went off here. And that's fine. That's a good result. He's right on the tee pad, I think.
Yeah, right on the I don't even know what color, but the short tee.
Yeah, the red.
So he's got the distance mark for him right there. He's going to be all set.
He loves that Champion Eagle, man. He keeps throwing that. And here's Andy, I believe. This is with his MD.
Oh, yes.
That's a really good pull. He went mid.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
But he can also throw 550. I mean, you and him probably can duel real far.
Oh, he's got me. No problem. I don't throw far anymore, Raivis.
Well, you're more conservative. You know, you bought a house. You're settling down.
Yeah. I play old man disc golf.
Mm-hmm. And here's Marky on his second shot. Really good shot. Whoa, he got way up.
Oh, yes. Oh.
You want
a little robbed from that log. If he just stuck on that, it would have been a better spot.
But let's be honest, just to get that far up on that second shot, like
True.
Jail is so hard to do on this hole. I feel like you always try to push a little more, and it comes back to bite you on this hole.
Yeah, and I think that's what we just saw Brad try to do. He got a little greedy there and just chopped something early.
Andy's in a
Oh,
prime spot for his birdie look. Absolute picture perfect.
that'll par.
Yeah,
Chipping
you're
out from the
fine.
rhododendrons.
A par is good on this hole. I gotta imagine that this average like 4.2.
I'll tell you in a second.
I
This
mean,
averaged 4.15.
yeah. So I mean, I know my averages, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh, you certainly do.
Yeah. And there we go. There's Marky with his par. That's fine. And at least we got one birdie on the card here. Come on. I hopefully didn't jinx him. That was close enough. There we
Yes.
go.
Yep. Yeah, he threw a really good tee shot, and his second shot was awesome as well. So
Mhm.
hopefully that gets the fire going for him, and he starts coming around on everything.
Yeah, it's. I think you guys just went through the hardest stretch of the course, and now it's actually going to lighten up for you, and you should be able to get birdies. Let's just make sure that you can get some momentum going.
I agree with you. That was definitely a really tough stretch of the course. You have to survive that. And if you come out surviving, you can come out thriving.
I love your rhyming today. Hole 8. Come on, give us this ace run here. Get a little breakdown.
Oh, we got 198 feet. This is coming in at, shocking, the easiest hole on the course.
It is truly a must get, and Andy really getting a nice pull. I believe that was with his P1 as well.
Yeah, it was very textbook. Just throw down a little bit to the left side, let it drift.
Slight
Chappie's going with a bullet here, and it just misses the ace off to the right side. It checks up pretty nicely.
And for, it looks to be a calm day, a little bit of gusty. Have you guys been watching the radar at all? Because there was lightning in the area.
Yeah, we didn't really look at the radar during the round. We looked at it before the round started.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could just see right before Brad teed off, he walked in front of the camera and he was like listening up in the air.
Okay.
He was like, he heard something.
Mm.
And then at this point, Chappie was like kind of looking at his phone, pulling it out. We were out here.
And you were just about to throw a dime.
Yeah. Just trying to stall things off of the
Oh
basket.
man,
Oh, I get a
Kyle.
replay from here? Yes.
Kyle, you are really feeling it if you're going for that as well.
Oh,
Yeah. That was like a
so
quarter, a
close.
half of inch. And there it is. There's the lightning delay.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Brad was right. His sixth sense was able to tell that something was in the air, and then you guys were hanging out for what seemed like forever. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, the lightning delays are weird because, you're not allowed to be on the course, so we had to seek for structure, and we knew there was a structure, and we were probably the furthest away from Tournament Central in our cars, so we went out here and found, some pretty sweet sections of the park, and we just kept seeing further delay, further delay, further delay, and we were in a weird nook where there wasn't any rain, and always saw some pretty sweet safari holes. So the young guns who have elastic bands in their arms decided to go throw some more frisbees, and I'm sitting over there hurting, trying to survive, get through this, and just conserve energy and watch them run around and throw discs at random things. And we survived, and we made it through, and
But for
eventually.
hours, though, right? This wasn't just for like a half hour.
Yeah, we were out there for a solid 2 hours, I would say, just trying to figure out, whether we should head back to Tournament Central, whether we're gonna restart, and eventually we decided that there was going to be no restart and that we had to abandon the course for the day and come back in the morning.
What? Honestly, I have played 232 tournaments, and that's never happened to me. That is
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. This is in 2023 PDGA Worlds, I was a part of a lightning delay, but my round ended up finishing where other rounds did not finish. So I've technically have been in another tournament that has been delayed.
Right.
But I was off the course by the time they had to do a restart.
It's just so strange to start on the next morning at 8 a.m. and then have to play another round, a third round at Meadowbrook, right?
Yeah. So we're playing over a round and a half because we're on hole 8, and Brad had the most amount of rows because he did 2 putts, and I guess I gave away a spoiler alert. Chappie's got 1 putt.
And it's fine. I mean, it was a day later, the longest birdie of his life.
Yeah, it's standing over your lie and thinking about it, going to bed at night. And we were also wondering if a lot of our lies were still going to be there.
Yeah, right. Did somebody steal your disc? Did anybody get stolen?
Either steal the disc or did rain wash your mark away? I mean, I put a rock down on top of mine, so...
That's wild. That's truly welcome to the jungle stuff right there.
Yeah, it is a mental jungle, physical jungle, metaphorical jungle. And now we're on hole 9 of this jungle, 324 feet downhill, yet another tight gap you kind of got to hit. And then you get down to this awkward spot where you have to decide whether you want to try to cut through early, stay down that straight line and just fade to the right. But you got to throw something with some commitment, and that will get to the ground because you cannot sail this basket in the air.
No, and I believe Andy's going with his tactic. Good call there, but a flippy tactic that flipped on him as it was going downhill.
Yeah.
Everybody's changed clothing, if people were wondering. It is the next day here, not a few hours later. It's just incredible. Thanks again to the tournament staff for keeping you guys safe too, though. Shout out to Bob. I know that there was like a full page of warnings and notes and, on the PDJ live scoring to stay off the course. So it really helped to make sure that everybody was safe.
Yeah, Bob did not take any decision lightly. I was sitting with him during the delay once we got back to our vehicles, and, he had his lightning trap app going and just watching it the whole time. And oh, what a shot.
Yeah, that's the shot
Brad.
that we've been looking for from Brad.
Whoa.
The best shot since after the delay, and this is his Halo Glow AVR. What a beautiful rip.
Wow. Yeah, and filtering, just missing the basket.
That is undeserving.
Oh,
yeah, come on.
Going down the path to hole 10.
That's not even... I mean, I understand that happens on a downhill hole, but geez.
Yeah, that's brutal.
There.
That's the part of hole 9 where I think the beauty of this hole comes into play of your touch and your distance control throwing downhill. It's not like you're throwing something 280 feet. 320 feet, you really got to get into something, but you got to make it stop. So you're throwing something pretty hard, and trying to get some glide and then stopping. Like it is a very finesse, very finicky hole.
And because how finicky it is, I actually sometimes go thumber off the tee so it doesn't get that crazy roll downhill. It just fades to the basket. And here's Marky for, I believe this is his birdie.
Oh.
No, actually that was for
par.
Yeah, whoa. That's what this 330-foot hole can do, though. Like you were saying, it's got the length to put you in trouble. And Brad, whoa, that was for bogey?
That was his, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He went from birdie to bogey?
Because that was he was coming up from where he's standing now, and he just juiced it. And listen, this is 8 in the morning right now.
That is true. There's a lot of things going on for you guys.
You're not going into hole 9 already playing 8 holes here. You're going into hole 9 with a putt under your belt or 2 putts under your belt. And it was hard to get warmed up.
Yeah, and you can see there's a little bit of a shakeup on the leaderboard there. And
Yes.
as to be expected, I mean, there was definitely some trouble for our lead card there. So you're looking very good with a -1 start. Probably not that -3 that we talked about, Mark, but again, very good enough to keep going and be on the lead card still for potentially the next round. So thanks again to our sponsors, Disc Golf 978, Disc Golf IQ, Cosmic Disc Golf, East Coast Metal Roofing. We couldn't have done it without East Coast Metal Roofing. I actually met the guys. They were very nice guys. And
Great guys.
huge support to our tournament here. Kyle, any closing thoughts here as we move into the back nine?
Oh, the back is where it all happens. Strokes are flying, but they were flying in the wrong direction. Now they're going to start flying for birdies.
Oh, Kyle is absolutely guaranteeing birdies. Make sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everyone.